Okay, you guys, hi. We're going to try this again going live, so I'm having a little bit of a connection problem, so hopefully this time we'll stay connected. So welcome to the program, you guys. My name's Karen Dubs. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a yoga teacher and a health coach, and I'm so excited that you're here participating in this Flexibility for Warriors challenge. It was not my idea to do this challenge. I want to give Katie the credit for this. So Katie is training a group of half marathon runners for the Baltimore Marathon, and she really thought, she participated in a program of mine in the spring and got a lot of benefit out of this. So this is really her brainchild. So thank you, Katie, for this. Give me a little nudge to do this program. I love working with athletic people, whether you're a CrossFitter or a runner or just athletic in general. You're stressed, you're busy, you don't have time to stretch, and self-care sort of falls to the bottom of the list. And maybe you're not a good cook or don't love spending a lot of time in the kitchen. That's me. So if that's you too, you're in the right place. So thank you so much for joining the group. I'm super excited to get started, and we'd officially start on Monday, but you should have gotten an email by now with the recipes. And if you didn't get it, just send me a note. I'm going to post it to the top of this page too, so you'll get a connection to a Dropbox link that'll take you to the PDF file, which has the shopping list in it. You're going to get the recipes in a couple days. Sorry, I just said recipes, but I meant the shopping list, because a lot of you are going to want to shop in advance, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, get to a farmer's market, get some fresh peaches and things like that. And you can order a lot of the stuff on Amazon too, if you're an Amazon person. So again, don't feel like you have, it's a long list and it's a big investment to get all of it one time. But I wanted to give you plenty of choices. So don't feel like you have to get all of it. If you have peanut butter and you'd rather do that instead of the organic almond butter, totally fine. I am all about flexibility is power and winging it and using the ingredients that you have in your house. If you're a gung-ho person, you want to do all of it, then get all of it, and it's going to last you a long time. I mean, I have a whole slew of things out on my counter right now. I'm going to go through a few of the things, not all of them, but a few of them with you. And that way I can have a different smoothie every single day, and the more that you get experience with playing with the smoothies and just sort of what works for you and what doesn't work for you, a little ice, maybe no ice, more milk, less this, less that, then you have all these things on hand, and you can, you know, just pull from what's in your garden, maybe what you know, like right now I have a bunch of fresh peaches that are going to go bad in the next few days, so work with what you have. All right, so I just want to go through a few basic things so you guys kind of know that are new working with the program for me, what to expect. And for those of you who are in Katie's half marathon training group, first of all, rock on, good for you. I am always like, when I watch marathon runners crossing the finish line, it can't help but like choke me up. It's such an awesome thing to work towards. So I admire you for that. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to get an email from me every morning from about 6 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. I know there's a few of you that are participating on the other coasts. So you'll get that every morning. That doesn't mean that's not the time that you have to do it. This is all about flexibility is power. You do the segment when it works for your schedule. So if that's at 6 in the morning, then great, do it then. But for a lot of you, I know you're running early in the morning, you're exercising in the morning. Most of the segments that you're going to be getting are flexibility segments. They're restorative, they're recovery, they're stretching. Okay, so you want to do them after, because a lot of them are static stretching. You want to do them after you do your running, okay? The dynamic stretching one, there's a core segment and a dynamic stretching one. Those you can do before you run or before you train. But the static stretches, that means a holding stretch. You want to wait until after you run to do that, because it's shown and proven to sort of reduce your power. And I cannot believe it, but still to this day, I'll be on the trail running, I'll pass people and they'll be static stretching, like holding the calf stretch before they run. Don't do that, okay? So that's a thing of the past. You want to do the static stretching after you run, do the dynamic stretching before you run. If you have any questions about any of this as we go, please feel free to ask along. You can post just on the Facebook page, or you can email me if you're not on the Facebook group. Sorry, I had to just swipe a text message out. Okay, so you're gonna get a daily email. For those of you who are not on Facebook, I'm just going to share the link. Okay, so don't worry about it. You're not going to miss anything. The only thing that you're really going to miss is the ability to interact, you know, to type in questions and stuff as we're doing things live. And by the way, for those of you who are in Katie's group, I am going to do a live segment tonight. That's Wednesday night at 7 p.m. I'm going to do 2 short little segments. One's going to be basic principles about, you know, kind of what's going to happen and, you know, what to expect and anti-inflammatory superfood diet and the benefits of that. And then the second segment is going to be a yoga segment that we're going to do just an easy, stretchy, chill power segment for, you know, after a run. Because I know a lot of you did a track workout last night and you're probably a little sore. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know. So expect an email every single day starting Monday, 6 a.m. in the morning. Your homework assignment is to do that 10 minutes of yoga, and you're going to be practicing self-care, additional optional self-care. So maybe you're going to book a massage. I would highly recommend. You can, you know, do some extra foam rolling. You can take a bath. And I'm going to go through some products too that you can stock up on that are not food items that are going to help you with your self-care. So we'll talk about that in a second. Plan ahead. This is really key. So just like you have your training schedule, I know you all have your, especially if you're training for a marathon, half marathon, you have your training schedule. Add your self-care and yoga to your training schedule. Plan in advance. Just say, when am I going to do this? Okay, I'm running at 6 a.m. I'm going to skip maybe a half a mile or a mile, because Katie recommends this, by the way, too. Sometimes you don't run your 8 miles. Maybe you do 6.5 or 7 miles, and that's okay sometimes, because the benefit you're gonna receive from the added self-care is gonna make you faster, stronger, and more likely to avoid injury. So that might be something that you consider for this week. How are you gonna fit it in? When are you gonna fit it in? Think about that now, and think about your intention. So why are you participating in this program? What do you hope to get out of it? So I can tell you from personal experience, adding anti-inflammatory superfoods to my diet has changed me from being achy, tired, pretty sick actually, because I have a autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and I had Lyme's disease years ago as well. So I have some stuff going on. The anti-inflammatory superfood diet changed my life, really. So I'm not trying to be dramatic about that. It really, food is medicine. So you can take anti-inflammatories to reduce your pain, like Advil, but over time, that's not going to really fix the root cause, right? So the inflammatory foods in our diet, and we're going to go into more detail about this through the program, but inflammatory foods like gluten, sugar, dairy, alcohol, these are all foods that over time will cause chronic inflammation in our bodies. When you reduce that and replace it with foods like that are super healing and natural whole foods, then you're going to increase your energy and reduce your inflammation, and you're going to feel a lot better and younger and healthier, and it reduces your chances of chronic illness too, like diabetes and cancer and high blood pressure and all of those things. So anyway, we will go into more detail, but everything on your shopping list is anti-inflammatory superfood. Okay? All right, so you're planning for your schedule, right? So you can do your homework assignment every day, your yoga, and make time, like plan ahead right now, Saturday or Sunday, or you can start now because you already have your shopping list. When are you going to do your shopping, and are you prepping food in advance? So for some of you, you're going to make the protein bite recipes that I gave you. Others aren't going to, and that's okay too. In fact, I just ordered some of these. They just arrived via Amazon, so Amazon Prime. So these are called Figgy Pops. I put this link in with your shopping list. So you have this via Amazon if you want them. I got 4 different flavors, just a variety. Apple cinnamon, cocoa crunch, that sounds good. Tart cherry, and we know cherries are anti-inflammatory. If you didn't know, cherries are anti-inflammatory. That's why in your recipes you're going to have a cherry cacao, I believe it is, superfood smoothie, because cherries are awesome for runners and athletes in general to reduce inflammation, really high in antioxidants. And the last one is cranberry pistachio. So I'll just show you one of these. I thought I put the ones out that I had made too. I made the peanut butter ones. I think they're still in the fridge. So here you go. This is what they look like. So if you're not a person that's going to carve out, you know, an hour or something on Sunday to make the protein bite recipes that the recipes that I gave you or I'm going to give you, then maybe you're not going to do them. Maybe you're just going to order some, and that's okay. So it's not about being perfect, but I do highly recommend, if you can make some times, to make the peanut butter, I think it's a peanut butter chocolate one that I'm going to give you, a matcha, and those are really great to do before a run, at least for me. And a chia seed goji berry one, I think I gave you the recipe for. So I highly recommend that you make those, but if you don't have the time, don't beat up yourself on that. Order some of these in advance, just have them on hand. And you're gonna need to experiment too. So some of you are gonna wanna do a smoothie before you run. And others of you, that's gonna, like me, if I do a smoothie before I run, it just slashes around my stomach and I don't like it. But a couple of protein bites, now these are new for me. I mean, this is the second time I've had them. Because I had to check them out before I recommended them to you guys. But I'm used to making my own. But I love doing protein bites before I exercise or run because they're really nutrient dense, but they don't slash around. And then after you run, you can do your recovery smoothie, okay? That's what I do, but you can figure out what works for you because we're all very different. So again, the message is plan ahead. So get your schedule, get your shopping in, decide what you're gonna do, and when you're gonna do it, and that way you're gonna be more successful, okay? So next thing, some basic principles. So you're gonna get a PDF file. I think I'm gonna send this tomorrow, actually. The last day to sign up is Friday, by the way. So if you have friends and people that you wanna share this experience with, because accountability is everything, and sharing the experience with other people, especially if they're people that you typically train and run with, it's huge, right? You keep each other accountable that you're doing all of these things, and you know, just it's more fun that way. So you have to sign up by Friday though, because the reason why is because preparation is everything. So even though we don't start until Monday, sign up by Friday. But the basic principle thing, make sure you take, it's only a one-pager, take some time to go through the basic principles about the breathing, about the willpower, chill power. So you guys are all about willpower, right? It's like type A, how much can I do? How fast can I go? How strong can I be? You know, how much can I accomplish today? Can I set the bar higher, 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 right? We all know what that's about. But the chill power factor, how can I take better care of myself? What can I do today to recover better, to, you know, make quality sleep and hydration a priority? These are all things that we're going to be working on this coming week during the challenge. So it's the balance of opposites, okay? And that's the Flexible Warrior. And by the way, I'll read to you a quick description of Flexible Warrior because I think that's a good place to start. And for those of you who don't have my book, we are going to do a drawing next week. So as you participate, if you post on Instagram, tag me, I'm at Flexible Warrior, Facebook, Flexible Warrior, or Twitter, Flexible Warrior. You can post, you know, your yoga pose, your smoothie, or whatever, and tag me in it, and then you'll be eligible to win a book if you're interested in that. Okay, here's the definition of Flexible Warrior. Flexible, capable of bending without breaking, able to respond to altered conditions and circumstances, adaptable, open, relaxed, resilient, I love that word, and free. Okay, that's the definition of flexible. And warrior is a brave fighter, someone who's willing to endure and sacrifice for a higher purpose and engage in a challenge or a battle, stepping out of his or her comfort zone for the greater good. So it's all about those balance of those two opposites. So definitely get out of your comfort zone, do hard things, challenge yourself, willpower. That is like awesome. Like, how are we ever going to know our highest potential until we challenge ourselves and get out of our comfort zone? The chill power is the balance of opposites to the willpower, and that is, how can I take the best care of myself possible? What can I do to honor and protect and listen to my body today? What does my body need? You know, and hydration is one of the key things. Like, each day next week, we're going to cover a topic, and hydration, breathing, sleep, these basic things that are sort of like pushed to the side so that we can accomplish more in a day. We're going to be working on all of those basic things so that you're getting quality sleep, you're getting good hydration. I'm giving you good recipes for your natural Gatorade. And, you know, no artificial colors, no artificial sweeteners in it, all just good, natural, healing foods. all right? So basic principles, make sure you look at that flyer. So in addition to that, just remember that what you do, how you invest in your health and your energy will pay you back exponentially. It is such an important thing, and it's missing, unfortunately, in our society for a lot of people. So that's why I feel like being part of the ripple effect is so key. So when we make our own health a priority and we take care of our own health, it trickles down to our families, to our kids, to our parents, to our husbands, to our wives, to the people we work with, to the people that we pass in the grocery store, whatever. You know, when we are happy and we take the best care of ourselves possible, it's so powerful. Like nothing matters more than that, right? So that's why what you're doing this coming week is the polar opposite of selfish. It is self-care, and I always like to think of it this way. If you have a cup that's half full, you know, the image of half full, half empty, I want you to fill your cup so full to the top that it's like spilling over, and all that good, like you just have so much good energy to share, and that's the opposite of selfish, right? So I am honoring you for carving out this time and investing in your health and your energy. So, all right, I'm going to go through a few things from things that I'm already stocked up for next week for the most part. And I'm going to go to the farmer's market on Saturday. I highly recommend you do the same. If you're in the Hereford area, the Hereford Farmer's Market is awesome, right on Mount Carmel Road. There's a great one in Towson. There's good ones in Shrewsbury. They're down in the city. So find a local farmer's market and hit it up this weekend. One of the things you're gonna wanna get are peaches. I mean, who doesn't love peaches in August? So peaches are really, really great. And yes, is this a superfood? So one of the things we're gonna talk about next week is what is a superfood. Does it come in a bag? Sometimes. So these are raw cacao nibs. Yes, superfoods do come in a bag, but we are trying to reduce processed foods. Anything that comes in a package, a bag, or whatever is processed. Now this is processed, but it's super high quality, but it is a superfood. Peaches, yes, a superfood. Sweet potatoes, absolutely, they're a superfood. Anything that doesn't have a label on it is pretty much a superfood. All right, so just know that, yes, there are superfoods, like here's your superfood mix. This is on your shopping list. This is superfood, okay? So this is super high in antioxidants, goji berries, pomegranate, and Aussie berry. So really high in vitamin C, vitamin A, and antioxidants in general. So yes, absolutely a superfood. Okay, so know this, you don't have to get everything fresh. So if you get a lot of fresh things, that's awesome. If you're more like a frozen fruit person, that's totally, totally good. Frozen fruits are amazing. They're really, really healthy. They're a lot of times frozen at the peak of their freshness. And some of them you can get organic, but you don't have to. So this I found the other day. This is a dragon fruit. I've never actually used a real dragon fruit, but sorry, another text message. But this is a dragon fruit. I'm gonna try this later today. But listen, on your list you have dragon fruit. You can get them at the store. I'm just gonna pull this out of my freezer. You can get this at your grocery store in the freezer section, dragon fruit. So which one's better? Well, they're both awesome. So load up on frozen if you prefer. Same thing, you know, I have a whole big thing of cherries here. All right, fresh, awesome cherries, but you can get frozen ones. So same thing with the pineapple. I happened to grab a fresh pineapple the other day, and I'm gonna cut this up and put it into a smoothie later, but you can get frozen pineapple. So don't feel like you're cutting corners. If you're getting frozen stuff, you're not cutting corners. You're still gonna be adding these nutrient-dense, hydrating foods to your body, and you don't have to stress about like, oh, I don't have the frozen. Don't worry about it, get the frozen, that's easier. You can have it on hand, and then when you're traveling, you come back into the house, you have something that you can, you know, make right away. So definitely plan to stock up. Okay, here's a couple other things. Again, I mentioned to you earlier, if you have peanut butter and you don't have a sensitivity to peanut butter, the reason that we use almond butter a lot is because a lot of people unknowingly have sensitivity to peanut butter. And so when you remove that, because it can be inflammatory for some people, and a gut issue, and you replace it with almond butter, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I feel so much better. So it's something that you can experiment with, but if you know you don't have a sensitivity to peanut butter, then just go with that. That's totally fine. Otherwise, pick up an almond butter. Again, this is on your list. You're gonna want turmeric. Now, so some of you are gonna wanna get the spice like this. Others of you are not gonna like the spice. It's gonna be too strong of a flavor. You can take a turmeric. Some people say turmeric. I say turmeric. Potato. You can take the turmeric, which is a powerful anti-inflammatory. Some of you know I injured my shoulder about a week ago, and instead of using anti-inflammatories, I did use anti-inflammatories one day because I was desperate, but I rarely use them. I used a ton of turmeric. If you don't like the flavor, you can get a supplement. I use Deep Blue. This has turmeric in it. I take it pretty much every day. Okay, a couple other things that you're gonna need. Make sure you load up on coconut oil. I typically have a huge coconut oil, but I ran out, and so I got this little one to carry me through for next week. You wanna make sure that you get that. And protein powder. So this is an option. You're gonna notice in some of the recipes, there's what I call boosters. So you don't have to add protein powder. The vegetables that you're using in your smoothies have a lot of protein in them, plant-based protein. Plant-based foods, and this is what I've been doing for years, it becomes a little trendy. You know, people are like, oh, I'm gonna be a vegan, or I'm gonna be, you know, a paleo or whatever. I don't do either of those. I'm really all about the flexibility. I don't categorize, you know, I don't eat one certain way, but I do eat a ton of plant-based proteins and foods. Adding in, especially if you're running a lot, an extra boost of protein on occasion. I like the Sun Warrior protein. Again, you have this link, but you can pick up other stuff at the grocery store. I do recommend like a pea protein, organic pea protein is what I recommend. So, you know, whatever you see in your store, or get this vanilla. Now it's a little bit of a strong flavor for some people. You can get the plain flavor too instead of the vanilla, but I would recommend you get this. This lasts me for like 4 months. It costs like $30, but it lasts me forever because I only use a scoop. Sometimes I use a half a scoop of this and a half a scoop of collagen, which is also protein. Okay, so really high in amino acids, really good for your joints, really great for your skin, keep you youthful, keep your skin healthy and your joints healthy as well. So collagen is a good one, and that is on your list too. So I could go on and on. I'm not going to go through the whole grocery list, but one other thing I did want to mention to you is it's a grocery list, yes, but you're going to have some extras. I would recommend getting mason jars if you don't already have. I like this size, the 16-ounce size, because you can fill it up with a smoothie, put the cap on it, and take it to go. A glass water bottle, because plastic is no bueno. So make sure you get glass, or stainless steel is totally fine too. On your list for self-care items, extra self-care items, this is super easy, super cheap, Epsom salt bath. You don't have to get the fancy expensive one, just get the cheap stuff. Magnesium oil, highly recommend for if you don't want to take a hot bath because it is August. Really, really great for recovery. I like adding, I put my magnesium oil in an extra little bottle like this, and I will add things like my essential oils. Anybody who's interested in essential oils, I use doTERRA, and I can help you get set up with a wholesale account if you're interested in something like that. But frankincense oil, peppermint oil, really good for athletes. I'll show you my little peppermint oil trick that I rub my feet with peppermint oil and coconut oil before I run. Talk about good, smooth, healthy feet. Very, very energizing. So if you want essential oils, now's the time to sort of think ahead to get some of that. Deep Blue is huge. Highly, highly, highly recommend this if you're running and training for a marathon. Okay. And so the last thing is the myofascial release balls. Again, you have this link. One of the videos, you're going to do a foot massage with these, and I'm going to send you a separate video on how you can use it for other parts of your body, like your hips, your calves, your trapezius and levator scapula, and rhomboids and low back, and these are fantastic to use for self-massage, okay? Now, remember that you do want to book some self-care of some sort. If you don't want to spend the money on a massage, all good. Make sure you carve out time to take your bath and do your self-massage, okay? But definitely carve out some time. And if you want it to be like a reward, like, oh, I'm gonna book a pedicure, or, you know, I kind of could use my hair done, book that for next week, for maybe like Friday or Saturday, as your reward and as part of your self-care, okay? So that's pretty much it. I just really wanted to introduce myself and check in with you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Again, for those of you who are in Katie's half marathon training group, join me tonight live. And if you can't make it live, don't worry about it. Or if you're late or have to leave early, it's all good. But 7 o'clock, 7 to 7:15, I'm going to be going through some basic principles. And then 7:15-ish, we're going to do a yoga segment, and you can replay it and use it later on too. Just a very easy restorative yoga segment. Okay, so again, if you have any friends who want to sign up, Friday's the deadline. If you have any questions, please type them in, let me know, or feel free to email me. And thank you again for joining. I'm so excited to do this little journey with you guys. And if you're not training for a marathon, half marathon, think about like what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to really up my outdoor activities next week. Running, cycling, swimming, stand-up paddleboarding, hiking, whatever. Get your butt outside, take in the fresh air, take in the sunshine, sweat, and do some extra stuff to charge up your willpower factor. Balance that out with your chill power. And that's what it's all about, okay? So thanks again for joining, and I'll check in with you guys again soon. Have a great day. Bye.